Alright. Let's go see what this fucking thing sounds like. I'm gonna do some audio fixing here. If possible. 'Cause I know the last couple were having some mic issues. Okay, it doesn't sound bad right now. Not unhappy with that, so I guess we'll leave it like it is. Deep in the AM. I figured I'd come on for a few. I was supposed to return the library book in the Wi-Fi hotspot yesterday, but after I got home, I had a little bit of a breakfast, went to sleep. I woke up around 2 in the afternoon and watched YouTube for about an hour, and then I decided I would lay down for a nap. And during that nap, I ended up getting sick, and I was sick all afternoon, all through the evening, throwing up. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I know everybody wants to hear about me vomiting. So, it's Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, 1:18 in the morning. It's a little chilly out here in California. So I am at an impasse. An impasse? Yes, an impasse. I'm in a position where I kind of have to decide what I'm going to do. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. Paycheck's coming, rent is due. What to do? Been on a pretty significant alcohol binge here, and my body's not liking it. Not one bit. Body is telling me to fuck right off with that shit. So the question is, I'm gonna try to dry myself out again. I throw in the towel, go back to rehab for a 10-day stay. They call it stabilization. That's an option. Or wait it out, right? I'm already due for my tune-up, my 3-day stay on the 22nd. That's 22 days, right, minus 10. So I'd go in for the 10 days, come back out for almost 2 weeks, and then go back for another 3 days. Which doesn't really make much sense, does it? I don't know. So I was talking to my friend the other day about my present situation, how I ended up in my current predicament. He brought up a word that I hadn't heard in a while. brought up the word limerence. Um, I share some common difficulties with relationships. And so he told me he'd been attending the Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous meetings. Going to. Just checking those out tonight. Because, as he and I had both identified in our situations, that oftentimes our trigger to relapse is external. It comes from this problem of seeking relationships or limerence. Limerence is a bit of a different thing. I've had a couple of my friends on here talk about limerence. Carol the Atheist has done several. Somehow I accidentally muted my mic. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't think I touched anything. So yeah, Carol the Atheist, Carol K, has a number of streams on this, or had a number of streams on this topic. I haven't seen her around in a while. We also used to watch the Cooking with Gail videos. Gail also has issue with that. She talks about a bit. So I just wanted to kind of refresh on that, brush up on this thing that some of us experience, which is limerence. Limerence is, from Psychology Today, is described as a state of involuntary obsession with another person. The experience of limerence is different from love or lust in that it is based on the uncertainty that the person you desire, called the limerent object in the literature, also desires you. Limerence, from Wikipedia, is a state of mind which results from romantic or non-romantic feelings for another person, and typically includes intrusive, melancholic thoughts or tragic concerns for the object of one's desires, I imagine. Stay there. I hope it would enlarge. There it is. Love, built on a meaningful connection. You solve problems together. You understand their flaws and love them anyway. Comforting and balanced. Limerence, one-sided. You believe the other person can solve your problems. You put them on a pedestal and believe they're flawless, obsessive, and stressful. I don't know if that's the best way to... While love and limerence can feel similar, there are a few key differences that separate them. That's quite a bit different. So, I mean, in limerence, basically, it's like you might be overly drawn to the other person. You don't even know if it's reciprocal, or maybe it's not reciprocal. Maybe you know that it's not reciprocal, and that could be like an issue for you. And in trying to, like in my present situation, I had a person who I'm trying to be friends with. I thought we were very good friends. I was feeling. Anyway, excuse me. And we had a good thing going. And a conversation came up in which, and it wasn't like I didn't directly come out and say, hey, I've got a thing for you. That's not the way this went down, right? Over a series of time, this conversation came up, and this person said to me, person Y um, thinks you're attracted to me. But I told them that that's not true. And then we had to have this whole unraveling conversation of like, well, you know, maybe I am attracted to you. Doesn't mean that I think we're going to be a thing or I'm trying to be a couple with you, but I'm not saying that I'm not attracted to you, right? Actually, I'm very attracted to you. But there's no, in my mind, I'm rational here. I'm just trying to be your friend, right? And then we had a series of conversations which followed in which they essentially told me that it was more difficult for them to be friends with me knowing that I was attracted to them, even though I wasn't trying to get anything other than their friendship. At least in my mind, at that point in time, right? That's the way I'm reading. I'm like, my brain says, I'm rationalizing this. I want to try and be friends with this person and not freak out over the fact that I'm attracted to them and not do, whatever compulsive behavior. Just try to be a really good friend of this person, right? But the fact that I had this honesty about the fact that I was attracted to them, right, was for them an ongoing issue. And others as well. Because for some period of time, we were spending a significant amount of time together, right? And, for reasons, right? Part of my objective was to keep myself sober and help that person stay sober, right? And if I could be there, then I could be the voice of reason. I could extricate them from potentially dangerous situations, right? I could play the hero. It was working for a while. I mean, it was. All right, we'll watch this video real quickly. I pulled up here and come back while I gather my thoughts. I've got yeah, this one's not. I found several, but there's a lot of videos out here on this. This one's shorter, short-ish, 6:54. So we'll check this one out and we'll come back.
Hey Psych2Goers! Welcome back to our channel. We wanted to let you know that each and every one of your comments, likes, and shares help support this channel in our goal to spread awareness about mental health and psychology. You help us make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone. Thank you for your support. Now onto the video. Sweet, sweet love. At times, it seems we can't bear to be without it. Take it from my buddy Billy. He knows all about love due to his crush on Becca. That first glance of her eyes, that beautiful trip they both took to the Bahamas last summer. Oh, wait, that last part wasn't real. In fact, it was all a fantasy, because my buddy Billy, he's suffering from the involuntary cognitive and emotional state, which is limerence. A love addiction so strong that he can't help but fantasize about long walks on the beach with his crush, romantic evening dates, and her simply saying the words, "I love you." To whom, you may ask? To him, to Billy. So, what is limerence? Defined by psychologist Dorothy Chenove, limerence is a mental state of intense romantic infatuation where one feels a strong romantic desire for another person. The limerent object. You may be thinking, isn't that just a crush? Limerence can often last months, years, or even a lifetime if not treated. It can both be joyous and emotionally painful, depending on if the feelings are reciprocated. Limerence is characterized by the intrusive thoughts one can experience about their crush and the strong emotional arousal that can grow into an obsessive craving for another person, even if most of your time spent with them is fantasized in your head. Limerence can often be mistaken as love or simply having a crush. So, how would you know if you have it? There's more than one sign than simply fantasizing about being with your crush. Could you be just like Billy? Here are 6 signs you are stuck in the emotional state that is limerence. 1. Obsess about them. You can't help but fall into the deep rabbit hole of fantasizing about what it would be like to simply take a romantic stroll on the beach with them, or engage in a deep conversation over pasta and raviolis. So much so that your work suffers from your distractions. You can barely eat as in longing, and you can't get a blink of sleep. You simply think of them seemingly constantly. But when you don't, something on TV reminds you of them. An item at a store makes you think of them. A comment by a stranger jogs your memory of something once said. They invade your thoughts, and you can both take pleasure and pain in this. 2. Insecurity and or shyness in their presence. So, Billy is idly walking through the halls of his college's science building when it suddenly hit him. A strong, shy feeling. It's highly unlike him. What's worse, while he's usually confident, he can't help but feel a bit insecure. Why? His crush has just approached him. She started talking, and he's doing his very best to pay attention, but the smell of his armpit sweat isn't helping. When in the presence of the limerent object, one can exhibit feelings of shyness and insecurity. This often presents itself in physical discomfort, as well as excessive sweating, stammering, and a racing heart that doesn't seem to calm. 3. Putting them on a pedestal. Billy can't help it. Becca's perfect. She has the perfect bronze hair, the most beautiful ocean blue eyes, and her intelligence is unmatched. Albert Einstein? You kidding? He's a joke compared to Becca. But this idea of Becca is likely overly heightened in Billy's eyes. I use the words likely, but Albert Einstein? Really? someone suffering from limerence can often make an irrational positive evaluation of their partner or crush. They may think they are perfect in every way, the best personality, the most compatible, the idealistic partner with seemingly no flaws, when in reality, they have flaws like all the rest of us. The main issue may be you simply don't know them enough to find out what those imperfections may be. And if you have unrequited love, you may have a tougher time realizing this, because they might not stick around you long enough for you to find out their flaws. 4. Emotional dependency. You feel as though you're not complete when you are away from your partner or crush. It hurts when they're not around, and you feel ecstatic and euphoric when they are. You possess a strong urge to be around them all the time, and this desire can last throughout the day until you meet their gaze again. 5. Longing for reciprocation. If they are indeed a crush, you go into the mood of despair when you know they don't feel the same way about you as you feel about them. But if they say they like you, you feel euphoric and a sense of elation. 6. Fantasizing reciprocation. Do you spend a moment or two daydreaming about your crush? We know Billy does. Those who are going through a state of limerence may fantasize about spending time with their crush. They may also excessively fantasize about them reciprocating their feelings for them through a romantic date, marriage, or future life together. An addictive form of romantic attraction, limerence has its highs as well as lows. One can seek relief from the harsh reality of their crush not feeling the same, but imagining they do. When experiencing limerence, one seeks the high of reciprocation. They simply imagine that reciprocation to relieve themselves from the aching sensation in their heart from their crush not feeling the same way about you. All Billy ever wanted was for his crush to care about him as much as he cares for her. While daydreaming may provide relief, it is only short-lived, as he is only left to simply wake up. Poor Billy. It's best to mourn the loss of reciprocation and dating possibilities and accept the long-lived notion that there is indeed plenty of fish in the sea, but they won't be Becca. So, do you relate to any of these signs? If so, what do you plan to do next? Share with us in the comments down below. Have you learned of their flaws and less romantic behaviors? When in doubt, a helpful trick is to just remember that tuna sandwich they ate at lunch, there's one way in and there's one way out. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button and share this video with someone who might need it. Subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification.
Yep. How did I know what? What did I know? I don't know what's going on here. We've got the limerence. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with that. I mean, okay. So I've got these notes for later from the past. So I'll have to do like some extensive work, right? I've got to do a timeline, chain of events, write it all down, make it nice and neat, legible. Then we go to a number of days active, which is going to be tough, right? That's tough because it's really hard to measure those things in hindsight. This last 20 some odd days has gone by pretty quickly in comparison to the ones that came before them. So, and then do we call the place? I mean, we gotta call the place, right? I mean, just call, check in, tell them you're alive. I mean, either way, I'm gonna be in there in like 3 weeks, if not sooner. Hello, coyote. There's a coyote just strolling by. They're coyotes, by the way, yes. Okay. Now, what's the title of this video? It's Ape in the AM. Yeah. And do you know why you did what you did? No, still trying to figure that one out. Okay, so that's where we're at. But, it might have something to do with this limerence thing. Unhealthy, codependent. What do you call that? And so then they... See, I don't want to get into the personal... But then they tried to call me out. I'm not even going to read it. When I was like, week 1.5. I was like, yeah, we're both codependents. That's why I'm, trying to talk to you right now. And then at week 6, they're like, oh, well, I saw that. What? See, I don't want to get the verbiage wrong here, because they acted like there was this. Oh shit! There's a truck. Like there was some fucking unspoken, like, secret or something between us or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's... Alright, let me just... I'll paraphrase. Okay, it's not that one. Yeah, they're literally accusing me of this, and then the whole... Oh, yeah. It's like you're looking for a codependency buddy, which I saw right off the bat. Right. And I mean, yeah. The tiny automated voice not so good? Uh-oh. See, I listened to this because it was... I was checking the audio settings. Now I'll have to listen and see what it sounds like now. So I was like, I'm going to fix these audio settings, I swear. Oh, not me. Okay. Sorry. I was like, not my microphone again. And what are you gonna do with that? It's like, yeah, I mean, I fucking told you. Because, I mean, that was last week. And then, where's this? Oh, I closed it. Shit. Anyway. The point was, you knew when you met me. I mean, I don't try to, like, make it... When I started this channel... Well, this particular channel, I was going to interview atheists, I was doing another YouTube channel, and I wanted to bitch about politics. And then I heard that, there's, like, more politics going on again this year or something. I don't know. I guess they do this every year. It's like a game they play. Try to give us the illusion of choice, man. We went way off track with that. That's alright, though. It's okay. There is no track. I mean, on the plus side, I'm talking to people about this. And I was listening to Shane the Skeptic's stream with Oz a few minutes ago. I think they might still be on. No, they might. Oh, yeah, they are. He was talking about this whole thing about, like, trying to open up to people, and how I've kind of been... I mean, I get a little bit isolationist, from time to time. I isolate myself from certain people, but then I'm still talking to you guys, so I mean, I'm still talking to somebody, right? Um, but there's like a handful of people in the recovery circle that I need to call back because I did that whole thing where I just went off the grid on them. But it pisses me off because I was doing this thing, you know, I was trying to I got out of rehab. I was trying to save people. I was running around, you know, like the first couple of weeks. Like, here, let me go see this person, check in on that person. Oh, make sure this person gets to a meeting. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, out here doing all this work, feeling good about myself. And then my friend gets out, and he's like hyper focused on this, this one guy, whatever, he's a friend of ours, and stuff like that. Same shit. And we were supposed to go down there. So it was Monday morning. We were supposed to go down there and go meet up with the guy. And so I text him, and he gets a hold of me, and he goes, "Oh, well, I'm already, on my way there, blah, blah, blah." Okay, so I was going to meet up with you. Go see the guy. You're already going down there, ahead of schedule. And then in the preceding text, he sends me all the bottles in the apartment or whatever. I go, shit, that sucks. And I'm looking around at my own, stack of fucking relapse evidence. Just like, man, So, long story short, that person knows where I live. They never came by to check on me, you know what I mean? So I did this for person X, Y, and Z. And not one of them's done the same thing for me, right? Of course, they know I'm fucking drinking. I mean, I told them I was fucking drinking. So, I'm like, okay, where do I stand? Because, I left this shit up in the air. I was like, motherfuckers. We could have just parted ways. You know what I mean? We could have just parted ways. And so much easier, right? Right? It's this isolationism thing. But now I feel bad because I didn't call the guy back. I feel bad. You know where I am. What the fuck? So apparently, they're talking about re-electing this jackoff. This fucking guy right here. Not putting him back in office. You can't make this shit up. Cannot make this shit up.
All you need is one stair. But for Biden, you need many. But when I imitated him with the stairs, as he never, I just know if you ever see Secret Service runs up and grabs some more. This is what we have negotiating. In nuclear weapons. So he finishes his speech.
Oh, shit,
Neil,
sorry,
do you
I
ever
thought it was
notice?
muted.
He finishes. The speeches last about, would you say, average 2-3 minutes? Right? Very quick. They're very quick and not good. Not good. But the press gives him good marks. I remember when he made such a bad State of the Union speech, everything was stumbling, mumbling. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. And I said, I'm going to watch CNN, MSDNC to find out what they say, because that was one of the worst speeches. They said, not since FDR has there been a speech so magnificently delivered. I'm telling you, I've never, ever forgotten it. Not since FDR. I said, it's impossible. They're fake. They're terrible. But you know what? When he goes, and he always points, he goes like this, thank you. Where am I? Thank you. And then he goes, and he points. You ever notice? And it's always he ends up going in the opposite direction ultimately. But he goes, and then sometimes he trips over the machine. And then we don't have it here. But if there's a wall behind him, he ends up walking into the wall. And then one of these incredible guys from Secret Service, all these beautiful guys, they run up stage. Look at these guys, like central casting, right? They'll run up stage, they'll grab them, and they're not meant to smile. You know, they're very hard line. When I tell stories, they're like this. I guess they're trained that way. They never smile. You say, good morning. Well, sure. They actually turn away. It's good. This way you don't have to say good morning.
What is this fucking stand-up comedy? Like, this is gonna be the whole bit. Like, button so dumb, button so old.
All the time, okay? No, they train them. But so one of these guys will run. This is what we have as our president. But the worst thing is when I do that, the fake news. I call up my wife, our great first lady. She was great for people. Love her. Yeah, people love her.
The American people do want to grab your wife by the pussy,
Mercedes,
sir.
that's pretty good. Good. Yeah, she's good. Good. And she loves our country, and she loves the people. It's true. When I give these big rallies, they say, we love our First Lady. They have signs. We love her. They always show a high heel. We love our First Lady. But I call up our First Lady, I say, so baby, how good was that? She goes, you were okay. She's a very tough critic. I'll go into a group, I'll speak in front of 55, 56, 68,000 people sometimes. I'll call her up, I'll say, how good was I tonight? Was that unbelievable? She goes, well, your hair didn't look good. Oh, that's not good. But it's very hard to get once in a while she goes, you were really good tonight, but that's like a major. But I said, in this case, I said, how good was that tonight? She said, you were really good tonight, but what happened? You couldn't find your way off the stage. Because the fake news said Donald Trump couldn't find his way off the stage. I said, wow. Or when I interject a name, like I go, our president, Barack Hussein Obama, Rush Limbaugh, remember? He would always, right, Seb? Rush would go, Barack Hussein. You couldn't hear Barack or Obama, but the name Hussein, he'd be screaming. I don't know exactly what he meant by that. I think I do. But he'd go, Barack Hussein. So I'd go, Barack Hussein Obama, our president has done this. Now, I meant that because there are those people that say he's running our country. Because Joe is not strong on aptitude. So there are those. We don't know that that's true. But they go out and they say, Donald Trump, headline. Donald Trump doesn't know who the president of our country. He thinks Obama's the president, Lou. Look at the great Lou Dobbs. He thinks Obama is the president. So when I'm sarcastic, because I'm sort of a sarcastic guy, I find humor in sarcasm, but it's very dangerous because they take it very seriously. But it's a very serious subject because of what happened. To finish the first story, what happened? Hey, by the way, isn't this better than reading off a frickin' teleprompter? Right? Right?
I'm not sure that it is actually. I'm very skeptical about that fucking assessment right there. I mean, yeah, yeah, Sandy, poor baby. Strike doesn't. His wife doesn't stroke his ego or anything else. And yeah, some people do want him back as president. I was watching a Rebel HQ video earlier. People who were interviewing Trump supporters after the rally, asking about things he said at the rally. And they were like, "Oh, I don't believe he said that." He was like, "I could play it back for you. He literally just said that like minutes ago. Weren't you there?" It was priceless. You weren't you weren't even paying attention. Oh yeah. And going back here, I know. Yeah, I can't. I mean, okay. So look, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm recovering from at this point. Am I recovering from problem drinking, from a lifetime of potheadedness, um, a stimulant relapse? Is it limerence? Is it codependency? What is my fucking problem? What is my problem? What am I recovering from? But yeah, no, other people, they can throw you off track for sure. And it wasn't the one I thought would throw me off track. It wasn't the limerence friend, right? It wasn't that one. That one was gone out the window. It's like, okay, I can accept that. That's fine. We'll just let that one go. And then after that, our other friend who I'd been staying with, who's my stuff is still at their house, right? Moved my stuff over to their house. And then I hear from, third party over here that this person was saying things. And now I don't know. I don't even know if the things that I heard from the other person are accurate. And it doesn't matter. I just reacted to the situation. I said, you know what? I don't like hearing from you that person said this about me. So I'm just going to extricate myself from the whole fucking thing and see that's the whole, you call it jumping to conclusions. Making rash decisions. Like, should I move my stuff over there in the first place? I don't know. But, my first thing is if I get wind, if I get the impression that you don't want me around, like, for the most part, I'm going to be gone. Unless I have some reason to, like, defend my position or something, Like, no, I am not leaving. Which is what I did to the other person, the limerence person. I was like, hey, if you want me to get out of your life and never come back, you could just tell me. Just say that. And they were like, no, I don't want that. And I was like, okay. Because that I can do. I do, I'm not a fucking stalker, bro. Like, I can, if you tell me to fuck off, I'm probably going to fuck off. Unless you're godless sowing. If you're godless sowing, I might just keep coming back. He sounds like he's doing a really bad YouTube podcast. I'm not gonna, I know fucking too much right now. I love it. I'm having too much fun. This is how I spend my nights. Drawing like a picture of a dick on here or something. I don't know what this is. Can you tell me what that's supposed to be? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. So yeah, I was trying to be careful who I self-cared with. You know, I thought, right, like I'm thinking this person is perfect for me because I have to like exercise like a certain amount of self-control, right, over myself to not, whatever, act in a certain way that I might usually act in other circumstances, right? But I totally have had, thought I had this position to like positively impact this person. So let's do this. I've got this. I can totally be a positive influence on this person, right? And but my well-being, right, became dependent on my ability to basically get a result out of that person, right? And now it's like if I'm not getting that result out of you, that's my failure, right? And that's putting their fucking recovery onto me, right? Which I don't need to do. Take my own, just be responsible for me stuff, right? But there was this other layer there, you know, help me, help you, help me. Everything, I mean, Sandy, honestly, everything, if I watch it, it's either to stir me up or to bore me to sleep. I don't watch neutrally. I can't watch with neutrality. I have to, I mean, there's gotta be something. Rainbow unicorn kittens. We were talking about alien porn the other night. Good morning, Christian Carpenter. Good to see you. Over here with Sci-Fi Fifth Dan. We're looking at some of his slideshows. Freudian slip. But that's okay. He has some very very nice artwork over there. Okay, so I've got to figure my shit out, make up my mind, all that stuff. It was like, okay, I try to get in now, which I mean I'll probably get in pretty quickly if I go for the 10-day, right? But again, math says I'm there for 10 days. I get out for 11, and then I go back for another 3. So I don't know if that really makes sense. I'm amazed Drunken Peasants is still running because when I left hours ago, this guy was freaking hammered and he was just playing old punk rock songs, and yet his co-host had left, and yet he's still live here. See what Ben is up to over there. Fall asleep with the stream running? I don't know. Oh no, maybe that was just. Is it still live? Oh no. Okay. Needed to refresh something, or maybe he just ended it. Oh damn, that was a 7-hour stream. Okay, so it was a while. Oh no.
Ever thought about carrying a handgun for
Back.
you and your family's
Still see
safety?
people
In today's
like
world,
that.
unpredictability seems to be the only constant. And let's be honest, we're all on the lookout for that.
Okay, so when you said that, why one therapy style and method does not work for all people. Yeah, so we were using like multiple modes over there, but I haven't done therapy since I've been out. And I tried to get a therapist through Kaiser, and they recommended me to psychiatry. I was like, I don't want more drugs. Like the whole point of this. So anyway, and so we go through all of that. But the program that I was in, they offer this. So the whole the 10-day stabilization and the 3-day tune-up, that's all a part of just what's offered in the program after you graduate, which I did graduate the program, right? But really, the minimum for you to graduate is to be there for 30 days and to not just be a vegetable, right? I mean, that's all. You don't even really have to like complete the courses or whatever. They'll be like, okay, if you stay for the 30 days and you're not, like the most difficult person in the world, then this is included in your graduation package, just the stuff you get, right? Which includes this whole stabilization tune-up thing, which is basically just a free return, right? It's covered already, so you don't have to worry about insurance or if you're paying out of pocket or anything like that. So I think that's really cool. I mean, basically, you can go back. Within a year, I think you can go back for like a total of like 45 days. They have a way they you can do so many days on your tune-ups, and you get so many tune-ups per year and stabilizations per year where it doesn't affect your insurance and you don't have to pay for it, right? So like basically they just keep taking care of you throughout the year if you need to come back, which is cool. It's great, it's a good thing. But the question is, like, for most people, if you come in, say anytime you've had like a relapse or something like that, you're supposed to announce it because, like, once you get to a certain point in the program, you have X amount of clean time under your belt. Then you come back and you might actually like host one of the classes at the facility or something like that. You know what I mean? As part of your service. No, obviously that's you choose to do that. You don't have to do that, but it's something they offer to like, okay, now come back and stay for a couple of days, and now you can host one of our classes, and and so it's like one way of staying involved in that sort of community, that can be ongoing, like long after you left the early recovery process, so to speak, whatever they call the early recovery process, which could be, I mean, it could be anything. Early recovery is like, 24 hours to 2 years to 5 years, depending on who you ask and stuff like that. And again, what are we recovering from? I mean, 'cause you have people who could, like stay sober off alcohol for years and still be dry drunk assholes, So I don't. What are we really recovering from?
New Eden.
All right. Well, I don't know. This computer doesn't like me anymore. It can't decide whether it wants to do something. It doesn't want to do anything. It's all over the place. You try turning the internet off and turning it back on again. Nope. George is a sicko. I give up. You win again, world. Do your worst.
Prime time, I tell you what. Oh, here they come. You hear that? They're coming up here. Way over there. Like they're driving a golf cart down the road. Ah, shit. See, I got the wrong fucking thing, doing the wrong thing. That's alright. It's alright. I'll figure this out. Watch me. I'm a technological wizard. It is a matter of building better habits. Which, you know, like sometimes I do alright with that. But then it's like, you know, you really want to like actually, you know, keep doing those better habits and stuff. Which is hard. It can be hard to like keep doing the better things. I mean, like now I have this base level to go back to. Like, oh, as compared to like a month ago, I don't feel right, right? But I still have these recollections of feeling like much worse too. And it was like, it's not just the habits, but that's what I was talking about the other night. It's like, what is it progressing towards? I had this expectation for what I was going to get out of recovery. And what was the expectation, right? I keep asking myself this question, right? I'm like, oh, I actually had this expectation of getting better results out of life and like better quality in relationships and and start like piling all these new expectations on top of just me being sober or whatever, right? Clean, sober. I don't know. They're like interchangeable or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to like figure that out. Like, because alcohol wasn't my primary drug of choice. Like right now, it's just very convenient. And I've adjusted myself for it, right? But it wasn't really my drug of choice. My drug of choice was pot. My drug of choice has always been weed. And you'd be like, oh, well, maybe there's an argument to be had that, you know, weed, you know, might not be the worst thing in the world for you as long as it doesn't influence you to do other stuff. Maybe. But I had to get to a point where I was like completely clear-headed to even question that, to ever even question it. Never would have questioned it before. Like, I wrote a song one time called "The Day Without Weed," and it was like, it's basically how like, you know, fuck that shit. I want to go a day without weed. Who would do that? Smoke weed every day. Like Brojo. And Sandy says, in so many ways, I'm glad I didn't do any recovery programs. Sat there and watched people fuck up over and over for 7 years while I contemplated my navel. I have a belly button. So you've seen a lot of people fuck up over the years. And I've done recovery. I've never really done a program. But I mean, I've like gone to meetings because I had to or whatever. Somebody forced me to go at some point. I didn't work no fucking program, man. Like, these steps are bullshit, man. Trying to fucking hear all that. There are other recovery programs, though. I mean, honestly, it's like, you know, the one I was gonna go to, there's two on Sunday that I was considering going to, and then I ended up flaking, which was Dharma, which is the Buddhist-based one, and then Smart, which is the CBT-based program. both of which I've been to before. I got really let down in a lot of ways on that. And again, that was just like my expectations of other people, the way my day was gonna go. Like, I really do, in some ways, depend a lot on those relationships with other people. Like, if I have something to do with somebody and they flake out on me, I take that personally, man. I take that personally. I try not to, but I realize that I do. And I start seeing it as a reason for me to, you know, do bad behavior. Like, hey, you flaked on me, so I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. There's my excuse right there. Right there for you. When you go home, who will you talk to about Atheist Helpline? Sandy, I didn't say it was a good excuse. I said it was an excuse. I don't know that good excuses actually exist. Um, good excuses are like, what do you call those? No, it's terrible. It's fucking awful. I hate putting this type of burden on my people, you know. Same thing happened with band practice, though. You know what? And that is on them because it's just as much, you know, their obligation as it is mine. We all have to make our obligations, man. See, it's like I said, when you hold other people to your own standards, you'll always be disappointed, right? You only have expectations on yourself. Like if my coworker doesn't show up in the morning, who am I gonna be mad at? Who am I gonna be mad at? I have to stay. I can't just leave. If my coworker doesn't show up, right? Am I gonna be mad at my boss? My boss didn't do it. It's not his fault. Right? Who am I gonna be mad at? I'm gonna be mad at the other guy? Maybe he got into a car wreck. Maybe his, you know, dad died or something. I don't know. I'm trying to like make up like the best possible excuse I can. Yeah, of course. Blame the boss. Fuck that guy. He's got money. Let him come down here and do my job. This fucking prick. But I will say, I mean, you know, if you're in a group, he's leaving. Okay. I was about to stab somebody with a ballpoint pen. I wouldn't. I mean, I will if I have to, but you know, so it's the first thing that comes to mind. I happen to have a pen in my hand. So anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, I forgot. Says humor is the only way to get through when I get through. True that. Oh, there's a truck. Anyway, I forgot what the hell I was gonna say. These trucks going through now. 2:30. I can't decide. These guys never keep on a schedule. I hear they may be laying us off again this week for rain, which kind of disappointing. I mean, if that's going to keep happening, it happened to me on was it last Monday? They laid us off. I ended up getting sent out to another site, so it was okay. I had a makeup shift, but less hours, you know. So I guess sometimes that happens if the work crew out here is off, and we get let off for a day or so, which I'm not particularly fond of. Yes, rain. The storms have been coming through California. There is flooding, there is death, there is terrible driving. I did a whole special on it the other night. It wasn't very special, but I mean, I did broadcast about it. Let me see, maybe we can find something now. Oh, wow. Now we have a blizzard warning. It's a blizzard warning from Thursday to Sunday. Oh, but that's out in the, okay, that's moving towards, out in the foothills. So it's not really here. But they're going to get the blizzard, so we get all the, up to 10 feet of snow in Sierra Nevada this week. Wow. 10 feet of snow. It's right around where my older kids live, though. My older kids live like right up here. Of course, I'm all the way down here, so I'm fine. No blizzards here. Elko. I remember Elko from a Hunter S. Thompson story. Uh, 60-mile-an-hour winds. That should be fun. 80 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts, according to this. Now that I'm looking forward to. That should be good. Oh wait, no, was this the last one? Oh, this was the last one. This was from the first week of February. It wasn't that bad. I mean, there was some trees down and shit, but it wasn't that bad. Okay, but what about this upcoming one? These are all like a week old. Got nothing new for me? Major storms bring more weekend rain to Southern California. I'm in Northern California. 6th and 9th. Okay. So I guess it's not going to be worse than the last one, otherwise it'd be on the fucking news, right? But yeah, this blizzard's coming through, man. It's going to be crazy. See some of them out Diablo. Oh, yeah. You can see some snow on Diablo. See some snow at Mount Hood. You might even get some on Tamalpais, which is right here. Got a good view of that one from here. That's just light snow, though. There's no blizzard for sure. Alright. Alright, so I need to buy a tire. I was supposed to buy a tire 2 weeks ago. My limerence friend, I'm just gonna start calling him my limerence friend. My friend, who I'm not speaking with at the moment, was supposed to remind me to buy a tire. But I did say at the time, when I said, I was like, hey, if you're still around when I get my money, remind me to buy a tire. Because at the time, we were we were door dashing together. They're my DoorDash partner. And I was showing him how to drive because I don't have a driver's license, right? So I was giving him some driver's lessons and stuff like that. I was like, hey, remind me, I need to buy a fucking tire, And then, of course, like the week that a few days before I actually get my money, they're fucking, I keep wanting to remind them, and remind them that they were supposed to remind you to get a tire. And it's like, remind yourself to buy a fucking tire. Now I'm just putting it off so that I can, guilt trip them about it when my fucking tire goes flat. Be like, hey, you were supposed to remind me about this 3 weeks ago. See how that works? I get to deflect, and I don't want to make people feel guilty for being shit friends. I mean, they're not shit friends. Okay, we've all got our own shit going on, right? We've all got our own things we got to deal with. But hey, I didn't think I was that bad of a person. It's like everybody keeps telling me I'm an alright person. Maybe there's something to this. I have this condition where it's like all or nothing. And the one part of me is telling myself I'm the shit. I am the shit. Everything I touch turns to gold, etc. Right? And then the other side of me is like, you are shit. Everything you touch turns to shit, etc. etc. Right? And then so I've got to deal with these two competing these guys. One of them he wants to kill me, and the other one he wants to be me. And neither of them actually are me, because they're both just fighting for space inside my head, and I don't know which one of them I'm supposed to be. So then I seek, external validation. Love me. And then I want to see which one of these two individuals you're going to validate, right? There's absolutely no balance here. What am I drawing? Holy shit, dude, this is weird. Oh, I can't. I got the fucking thing turned off. Okay. And so I got 3 hours left of this shit. I got 3 hours left. I'm not going to stream for the whole fucking thing, because that would be ridiculous, right? That would be absurd if I were to do something like that. This is a pretty good drawing, though. Alright, so I go to the Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous meeting. You can meet some other people who are also addicted to sex and love. And how does that one turn? That can't be any better than going to the AA meeting, right? In either case, I'm trying to fucking fuck somebody, right? I mean, that's my goal here. I mean, I just want to, find the most codependent person I can and try to move in with them as quickly as possible. Wait, no, shit. Alright. I need to find another strategy. This isn't going to work. I don't know, this isn't going to work for me. But see, all these other sex and love addict people, they've been in relationships recently. I haven't tried this in a while, okay? I've been single for a long time. Maybe it'll be different this time. We can go to therapy together. It's gonna be great. I've made a lot of progress on myself since the last time I was, with another. Like in the romantic sense, like we're really like, you know, yeah, I've dated a couple people here and there, but it was like, it's neither here nor there. It wasn't like what this one will be. This will be the real one. It'll be for real this time. It's true. No. Drop the thing. We are needy little monkeys. I mean, it's like trying to find that balance. That where's me just being a normal person looking for, otherness or something like that, and where's me just being like a total. Okay, so I mean, I did, to be fair now, let's go back and track this. So I just want to make sure I'm not exaggerating. Now, we had a particular agreement, a verbal arrangement, which we now disagree upon, but that's neither here nor there. At the time, I remember us having a particular verbal arrangement. So this person, let's see if we can go all the way back to the beginning. How far back does this go? Jesus, that's a long time. It's a lot of text messages. You think we can make it, Captain? If we go at warp speed. I've only known this person since, like, Christmas, I guess. And I've had their number since January 3rd. But I've got more text messages between this person and myself in here than people who I've known for like 10 years. Since January 3rd. So there's the first message right there. And there's the second message from the second day. And here's from later on that day. When we had a conversation in which I told them, because I was going to be getting out the following day, if you need anything, get a hold of me. Lengthy, you know, I'm paraphrasing. If you need stuff, get a hold of me, yada yada. We'd already had like I don't even want to like trying to get into the specifics of the conversation because we already had a bunch of other conversations leading up to the point of this conversation, right? Where they're like, oh, so and so is trying to get me. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm not doing that shit. But I gave them my address. I gave them my number. I said, if you need anything, get a hold of me. And, you know, like, not like fucking, you know, so I'm trying to do this whole parental unit bullshit or whatever. Okay, fine, cool. So that's January 3rd, January 4th, January 5th, I leave. I send them my Spotify playlist. They send me a hell yeah. We text on for a bit there. You know, a decent conversation on January 5th. Culminating around 4:30, and then a couple hours later we did FaceTime with a group of our friends. It was us and a group of friends. Okay. I don't hear back from him. January 7th, I send a morning text, 7:02 a.m. Oh, wait, no, so this is, where did we get to? Oh, shit. Well, that's not bueno. Is there an easier way to do this? I feel like there should be an easier way to do this. Oh wow, yeah, there we go. That's working better. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I just figured out how my phone works. I have to get rid of this one too. I don't want to obsess on this too much here, but I just want to. And now I'm reading this one. That's pretty funny though. I mean, I can see how I can scare people. I can scare people because I mean, you know, I'm me. I'm this guy. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. Like, see me, like I've fucking given out my information online. You know, I sent Godless Sewing my address when he threatened to, you know, fucking do whatever. I don't live there anymore, but I did live there at the time, and I lived there for quite a while afterwards. Like, he had my fucking physical address. He wanted to do his thing. Because, you know, that was the whole thing. Like, he got doxxed, blah, blah, blah. You know where I live. Well, now you know where I live, right? So I give this chick my fucking address. I leave rehab. She's still in there. We're still texting, right? Et cetera, et cetera. A couple days later, we're talking again. Like, there's nothing unusual about it. Like, the whole flow of this conversation is cool. And then... Okay, but it's still, we're on, like, the daily check-in thing, right? Like, right now we're doing daily check-ins, because I'm out of rehab. They're in rehab still, right? So mind you that. Like, I wasn't trying to be excessive, but, like, these conversations are back-and-forth conversations. Like, it's not one-sided, right? Until we get here. So, wait, no. I'm almost there. January 12th. Okay, so then January 12th, I text them, hear nothing back. Think nothing of it, right? Just leave it alone. January 13th, 3:30 in the morning, I get some texts, right? So, okay. So now we're going back and forth on that Saturday. Cool. And we're having like a long-winded conversation. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into the meat. So, now they're out. Okay. Yeah, here, so we talked. This is 10 days later. They get out. And they go fucking ghost on me. I don't hear from them. For like, well, not like the whole, it's almost 24 hours. Almost 24 hours. Then I hear back from them. We're just having our little talky talk. And the following day, they're not responding to me, right? Throughout the day. I sent a meme, I got a heart back on the meme, nothing else, right? And so I find out from another person that this person is in the hospital. And so here's me throughout the course of the night sending more stuff. Okay, yeah. And so a few hours later, between 4 p.m. and 9:30 p.m., it escalates to me going, so are you going to tell me why you're in the hospital? And then I hear back from Thursday. Here's me again. Thursday night. Oh, I'm good right now. Okay, so I'm not gonna like disclose the whole thing. Right. So they text me back Thursday night, but they just blow me the fuck off, right? And this is still Thursday night. Okay. And then so they agree to meet me on Friday. Friday morning comes along. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's like well after. Okay, so I confirmed. I mean, I'm assuming. No, yeah. Okay, well afternoon. Blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. All right. So I got all this. And then, so I pick them up, drop them off at X location. I go to work. Here's us texting again. Friday night. Cool. So at this point, like, we're having back and forth conversations, right? Like, other than that 2-day period, we're having like daily back and forth conversations. And then, where is it? Right here. Okay. And we get to January 22nd. Okay. January 21st, we get this whole freaking stupid thing. January 22nd. And then so the night of, right, we get into a little bit of a spat. The next morning, she's texting me and I drive her down to where she's supposed to go, and I'm supposed to be picking her up, right? And then I text her 2:36, 2:37. So by 3:20, I'm like, okay, now I'm at work. Oh no, that's right. I wasn't supposed to pick her up. Our other friend was supposed to pick her up, right? But I'm trying to figure out if she's getting. I'm coordinating the ride for her. So finally, here at 4:00, right? They're like, no, oh, I didn't. Don't tell them I told you, but blah blah blah. So I don't have a ride, right? And I'm like, well, fuck it. Just come out to where I'm at if you can get out here. And she says, yes, I can get there. And then I'm like, okay, well, then we'll figure something out. Just let me know what you want to do. Are you okay? Right? And then on this night, oh, here we are. Yeah, 4:00. I fucked up again. She gave me the same fucking excuse on January 22nd as she did on, what was that last one? February, when was this last one? Nice. For this. Okay, and I didn't send some crazy shit because I'm not the fucking healthiest person in the world, right? But this is like way later. So where's this? Before that. That. Less than 2 weeks later. It's less than. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this conversation's out of control. Like I said, there's a lot of conversation here, so I'm trying to. Okay, so January 22nd and then January 28th. Like 6 days later? Is that right? Yeah. And that's pretty much like, that's the span of time it took. And that's when this whole thing goes from like, okay, now we're arguing, going back and forth, and then I didn't hear from them for over a week. Last text I got here. Okay, so here's what that one. About 5 days. 6 days. And then, so this is all the beginning of this month. And then we come to this point where they're texting me back like once, here it is, yeah. Like every 4 or 5 days. And towards the end here, I'm not reading all of the text, but yes, I am. I mean, I'm going through the what happened in the conversation. So now they're texting me back like once every few days, and at this point they tell me, where is it? Right here, February. uh, here. No, I was thinking. So like second week of February. No, I totally am. I've been looking for an excuse to do this. I'm trying to work the whole timeline out because a lot, like I said, there was a lot of conversation, there was a lot of dialogue that happened in a very short period of time, and you know, sometimes we just start like frothing at the mouth, with no idea what we're saying or we're saying it. I mean, because there's this like idea that, you know, you just need to like share your emotional states and then you'll get over them. And that's not always actually the case. Sometimes I share my emotional states and then like I don't really get the response that I want and I start like freaking out worse. It totally makes the situation worse, man. I don't know. Sometimes I just think you just need to stuff that shit down. Acceptance is the answer. But then it's like, but then there's like the closed mouth doesn't get fed principle. It's like, what if you don't state what you want or need, then nobody knows that, you know, you're like hungry or you're trying to get laid or whatever the deal may be, right? So you gotta like, I don't know, you like talk about it, but you gotta have like some kind of finesse where you don't completely like ruin the situation. I've ruined a lot of really good situations. When I was in high school with my first girlfriend, the girl that I lost my V card to, she had a really cute friend. And we were all over there one night. We were having a party. We were having some drinks. We had a few people over. And the three of us were going to have to do a menage a trois, you know? But at some point during the evening, I decided I was Captain Cool Pants. I was going to drink a screwdriver through a frickin' funnel bomb. So I did that. Next thing you know, I'm blacked out. All I know is I woke up alone. My girlfriend was locked in my mom's room. Her friend was on the couch. My mom was pissed off because I had like pissed in the potted plants or something. I don't remember any of that shit. All I know is I was supposed to have a menage a trois with two beautiful 16-year-old girls. You know. I didn't even drink that much. Why would I put the screwdriver through a fucking beer bong? Doesn't make any sense. That's just stupid. I have to remember all these things. All of them. This is my life, man. It's alright. I'm gonna make it. Everything's gonna be A-okay. We're feeling just delightful. So, I heard back recently from another friend who I haven't talked to for a while. And, you know, we had a thing going on, a little bit of a thing, you know. Not serious, but not, you know, not serious. We've been friends for a long time. You know, we both know each other from the past, and then we came together. And, so I'm not really sure exactly what happened. I guess it's been like over a year ago now, because I haven't seen them since I got my place. I didn't even know I was in my place. And, so they were like, what did they say? Anyway, so we kind of like got reacquainted or whatever. But I don't know what happened. They just, like, out of the blue, they randomly, like, we were hanging out one night, and I left, and I went to go to work, and then they blocked me the following day. And I'd left my clothes there. They were supposed to be washing my clothes, so I never got the clothes back. So now I'm like, how long do I have to wait till I ask if they still have my clothes? Like, you know, it's just an outfit. It's not like all my clothes. It's just, you know, it's just like, do you still have my, you know, I don't even remember what I was wearing that day. I just remember that I left my fucking clothes there, and I want to know if I could get them back, you know, because they ghosted me, and then, you know, and then just show up after like a year and a half or something, like, hey, how are you doing? I've missed you a lot. Like, really? Because you just blocked me one day for no apparent reason. But, 16 screwdrivers? No. I didn't. There was no. Hold on. Mom was at home, as a matter of fact. I think that was the same. It might have been a day or two later that I had the sheriff's department called on me because she tried to trap me in the house. And they were like, well, you can't kidnap your own child. I'm like, that's like false imprisonment or something. Like, you can't. So, you know, long story short, I got out of the house. There's a big old thing. I'm walking down the street, and I walk back, and the sheriffs are at my fucking house in force. Like, do you want to press charges? I was like, I literally, because my mom, you know, she was tiny. She's a bit bigger now, but she was tiny at the time. I picked my mom up by her waist, very gently, and I moved her out of the doorway, just to the left, and I walked by her. You know, I just picked her up, and I stood her, you know, just so, right here. Didn't do anything violent, you know. Just picked her up by her hips, and I moved her to the left, and I walked out the door. And so that's the way that happened. I was about 16 at the time, and so that was when the whole thing, you know, the sheriff showed up. Assault, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not having this fucking argument. I'm a juvenile, you know, so what are you going to do? Anyway, nothing happened. Nothing fucking happened. But the point was, she was trying to imprison me there from seeing same said girl, right? Same said girlfriend. And that particular night, I told her we were having a party, but I didn't tell her how many people I was having over because I didn't know. I knew that I was going to have these two girls over. I invited another friend of mine who did not show up, and then we invited this fucking jagoff. I cannot remember his name. But we hung out with them like that time, and then one other time we went out to the lake with him, and I remember I told my girlfriend I was going to fucking stab him, and we were like riding in his truck, so he was our ride back. And so, but I was like, I'm gonna fucking stab this guy. Like, he just shut the fuck up. And so we went through that whole, drama scene. But we weren't even together that long. We were together for like 3 months. One of those deals. And so that guy shows up. He has the fucking beer bomb, right? So we had gotten the vodka and Hypnotic. My girlfriend wanted Hypnotic, which was also a mistake. Hypnotic's fucking crazy too. So we had that, and then they showed up with a couple of cases of beer. So we had the vodka, the Hypnotic, we had some juice, some beer. I think somebody else had brought maybe like a smaller bottle of whiskey or something, but we had like a decent handle of vodka, which was mostly what we were drinking on. And so at some point during the evening, they were beer bonging, and I may have made the dumbass mistake of like volunteering myself to screwdriver out of a beer bong. I don't really remember, I was kind of cocky. I might have signed up for that mission. But at this point, the whole menage a trois had already been discussed, so we were like, okay, basically we're just, trying to get, everybody drunk enough, basically this guy goes fucking, so, I was supposed to go back to my bedroom with the girls, and then dude was supposed to pass out on my couch or whatever. But see, and I don't remember what happened that night either, but apparently he and I got into it, right, over there. And so, I don't know, because obviously I'm blacked out. I'm fucking, like stripped down in the living room. I'm pissing in the potted plants. I'm just fucking running around like a fucking madman. And I kick these dudes out of my house. I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna fuck my girlfriend and this chick over here. And my girlfriend was like banging on my mom's door because my mom's locked in her bedroom, right? She was like, fuck it, the kids are partying. I'm just gonna lock myself in here. And so my girlfriend and my mom were like locked in the bedroom, like physically away from me. And I guess I don't know if at some point I was out there probably banging on the door. I don't know. Maybe that happened, maybe it didn't. I cannot confirm or deny. I wasn't there that night. but what I do know is that I woke up buck naked. Bedroom door is wide open. I'm just like hanging off the living. I'm half dead. Right? And I go out to the living room. And there's my girlfriend's friend on the couch. And she's like such a trooper. She's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. What happened? And so she and I got along well. I think she was still interested in me the next morning, but we never got to follow up on that because I was still dating her friend, so it was going to be a total asshole. I was like, oh yeah, can I get, no, I didn't get any information out of the deal, so it was like, but she left, she was super, super sweet, it was nice. So yeah, all that happened. Dude, we've had some wild times out here in California. Oh yeah. All day, every day. I swear, I mean, we did some really dumb shit, but we never really got in trouble for most of it. Like, usually we got in trouble for the really stupid shit, which would be like lame stuff. Like, you'd have to go, like, do, freaking community service for having some cigarettes or something, like being underage. That was like the worst shit I ever got into. Like, but, like on the, in reality, we were freaking, either taking pills, we're doing coke, we're drinking. We got into mushrooms around that time. I didn't get into speed until a couple years later. And when I did speed, I wasn't doing it with other kids at that point. I was hanging out with adults, people in their 20s mostly. So, yeah. And I was usually the one who was, like, running bag for that. Like, if fucking the cops rolled up on us, I was holding everything because they can't search me because there's no fucking, well, they can search me or whatever, but it's not, because they have to have a fucking guardian present and nobody can get a hold of my fucking parents, right? So it was like perfect. It was like have the kid hold the drugs. If the fucking cops roll up, fucking people take off. Kid's like, fuck, what? Yeah, you trying to get a hold of my parents? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And then, I just end up, squirreled away for a minute. But it's like, not like anything's going to happen to me. They're not going to charge me for fucking minor possession as a minor when they can't get a fucking legal search. Like, it's just not worth it for them. And it always worked out perfectly because I'd be the fucking cool-headed one in the bunch. The cops would roll up. I'm holding the drugs, right? All these, 18, 19, 20-something-year-olds would frickin' scatter. They'd all start running off. The cops would go chasing them. And I'm standing there holding the actual fucking, loot. And the cops just leave me there. And I just continue on about my walk. Like, okay, that worked for me. Happened a couple of times. Alright, well, I'm gonna get my pretty face out of here, I guess. Go study for med school. It's never too late to become a doctor / astronaut, philanthropist, rock star. Follow your dreams and live your best life. And be your best self and stuff, or whatever. I don't know. Or do whatever you want. Just destroy everything. Blow it all up. Make some napalm. Who cares? Alright. Much love. Have a wonderful rest of your February 28th. Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Anything is possible.